We all want to play beautiful attacking chess in our games, but how exactly do we do it? Well, we need to study games played by great players, like Bobby Fischer in this game against Robert Byrne. The move that Bobby Fischer played in this position is the beautiful pawn to d4, sacrificing a pawn. After white takes, now black plays bishop b7. This diagonal is so strong. The bishops are slicing and dicing the opponent's king. If white plays here, now black cashes in, bishop takes d4 check, queen takes d4, and now rook e1 check. This rook is overloaded guarding the queen, so if they take, they lose their queen, and if they do nothing and they just move their king, we can take the queen and then win the rook, and black is in a winning position. So in the game, Robert Byrne actually played king f1, sidestepping this bishop d4 check and rook e1. And now another amazing move by Fischer, which blew my mind. Can you see it? It's queen d7. Once again, a small step by the queen, causing earthquakes in the opponent's position. The plan is to infiltrate via the light squares and working together with the bishop diagonal that Bobby Fischer just created. In the game, Byrne actually resigned here. Why did he resign? If he plays something like queen f2, just to make sure that the rook can take the bishop, there's a beautiful win. Everyone has to see this. Queen h2 check, king g1 because the king can't go here, and now the move is rook e1. If the queen takes, it's mate. If the rook takes, bishop to d4, pin and mate. If they do nothing like this, I can still take and mate anyway. Isn't that unbelievable? So I saw this game and it completely blew my mind. Many years ago, it left an impression on me. And last year, I got in a position against the national master. I was black, and it looked like this. Similar to the Bobby Fischer game. King's on g2. And I was so inspired, I found the only winning move here for black. d4. Sacrificing a pawn, just like how Bobby did. The point is to open this diagonal. I noticed that if I check on this diagonal, and the king moves here, there's a fork and there's a big attack on the king. So if white takes with the pawn, let's say, we can go first trade rooks and then queen b7 check. Here, because he can't go anywhere else, then knight f2 check. And now white is getting mated, queen e7. This is actually checkmate. So this diagonal is super strong to play d4. In the game, my opponent took with the knight. Okay? And now what he wants to do is, if I check immediately, he blocks with his knight and I sacrifice a pawn for no reason. But after here, he was hoping I would take with the bishop. And then I believe the problem is that after it takes with the pawn, he can go king g1 now. So this is not what we want, where he can't check anymore. So how do I check and not allow this? I sacrificed my rook. If they take with the queen, then I take the knight, no longer defending this f3, and the queen is overloaded. It has to defend the rook and have this queen guard f3. So if they go something like queen a3, we can first check on b7, make sure the king doesn't go to g1, and then take the rook. And the attack's not done yet. Queen f3. Threatening knight f2 check and queen g4 mate. And the computer shows an amazing win here. Knight f2 is already good. If white plays something like a6, rook b4. Might be wondering, what does this do? a7. Knight f2 check. Rook f2. Now rook h4. They have to take with the king. And this is checkmate. Amazing, amazing tactics. Just from that one d4 move, right? Opening the diagonal. So in the game, after rook c3, my opponent took with his rook. And now I played bishop d4, skewering So I sacrificed my rook, but I'm going to win for a knight. So I'm going to win the rook back. But the main point is to also continue the attack. I'm threatening rook b2 check on top of queen b7 check as well. So now after rook here, he controls this square, but he doesn't control this anymore. So he played rook a2, good move. Now I could cash in, but before I do that, I took a pawn with tempo. My opponent played queen c2. And now, again, I cash in, but now I did a really cool maneuver. I checked with the queen. They have to go h3. Now I check with the queen again. They can't go here because of mate. And then I check with the queen again. And they went back. I just got my queen from here to here using the power of checks. Check, check, check. Same exact position. The queen magically teleported to the middle. And guess what? It's attacking the rook. So I took this rook. He can't take my bishop because his rook's hanging. It's almost like magic when you have all these checks. My opponent, I'm already winning by a piece now. My opponent played a6, desperate attempt. I brought the bishop back to the center and controlling the square. And he played knight d2 just to bring his pieces back in. Of course, black is winning here, but I try to play energetically. g5, threatening g4 check. So he tried to stop that with queen e4. And now I just took the rook and I won in a few moves. After takes, I checked and I traded queens and he resigned. But the funny thing is after here, I had an amazing winning move that could have even ended it more beautifully. g4 check, king g2, and now rook b1. Mind-blowing move. Isn't that the prettiest move you've seen? They can't take out the knight because they lose the queen. If they take my queen, this is checkmate. This is checkmate. So they're just overloaded and black wins. So this was one of my prettiest attacks, and I had to thank Bobby Fischer for playing this game and inspiring. And this is how you can also play beautiful games.